Hello, horse players. I'm back from my trip. I've been gone for 2 weeks. I was in Hot Springs, Arkansas. I went to Houston for a tournament. Came back to Arkansas, Hot Springs. Saw an eclipse on Monday. That was crazy. And then we had issues getting back out of town because of that. So lots of stuff going on. Obviously, Marco is not with me, so I'm going to do another solo show today. He will post his picks on our master sheet, and we'll have that on Twitter for everybody to see. So, man, where do I begin? First thing is my trip out in Arkansas, Houston, the contest. It was a success. I did really well out there. I want to say, all right, sorry guys, we had some technical difficulties there. Anyway, the NHC contest. So I go to Sam Houston. I fly there, fly back. But when I get there, first of all, Texas Mike, great accommodations again. Just everything that, us horse players needed. We got Nick Tamero got me up in the booth, and I got to see one of his calls up there. Sensational call. I've been up there twice now. And just a professional race caller. I hope he gets other circuits as well. I think he's that good. Trey Styles got me on his show for one of the races, pre-race analysis. That was fun. And then the actual tournament the next day, I did really well. I finished second. Had like an $8,900 bankroll. I won a BCBC. The winner could not attend the BCBC, so they took an NAC seat. And I know you can play. I know you can play online, but I guess this guy is going to be out that whole weekend, not going to be able to do anything. So anyway, yeah, my gain there. I'm very happy to have won that. So, the way the format was, it was $1,000. It was $2,000 entry, $1,000 at Sam Houston, and $1,000 at the simulcast tracks, which one of them was Oaklawn Park. And I hit some good ones. I hit Bandera Azteca as my play of the day. Marco's play of the day won the next race. I had a large win bet. I had a large double. I hit the Wood Memorial winner, the Mott Runner. The name is escaping me. And I hit a couple other small prices here and there. But all in all, yeah, Oaklawn was a very success for me over there. And that's what I like. I like when I pay attention to a circuit and I put in the work and it works in my favor, in one of these tournaments. I mentioned the full eclipse. When I was in the infield, I saw Jason Milligan. He's like the vice president of racing there, I think, and does he was a tournament director back in the day, and I guess he and Michelle Ravencraft are talking about bringing a contest to Oaklawn Park. That's supposed to be, I guess, off the record, but my listeners can get that tidbit of information. So Sam Houston was a success. Hawthorne has a really cool contest, guys. It's an $800 buy-in. You can enter through ExpressBet and play online. It's all Hawthorne. It's Illinois Derby Day. It's going to be a prep for the Preakness. If you guys can make that tournament and are available to play it, I highly recommend it. They're going to give out a lot of cool prizes. Hawthorne is the best in the biz when it comes to prizes. So it's your bankroll. You play it. There's no entry fee. And, you win what you bet. So it's just like you went to the day at the races. So anyway, that's my NHC stories. did a really good job out there in Sam Houston. I will be back. Texas Mike is talking about consolidating the two tournaments and making it one big one with BCBC, uh, multiple NHC seats. It's not written in stone, but we were discussing that. And I'm anxious to see what he comes up with next year for the tournament. All right. So, as I mentioned, it's the Apple Blossom. Actually, I got the wrong. That was the wrong one. Oops. Okay, so anyway, I'm back. So it's the Apple Blossom card. Apple Blossom is a great race. It's a pretty much a Breeders' Cup distaff, prep early in the year. The best mares in the country are going to be in there. Azeri's won that race several times. Zenyatta, I saw Zenyatta live in 2010. I have a ticket stub to prove it. Saw her in the infield that day. Pretty much on a paid workout hand ride. And it was the second one that she won, not the first. The first one she ran against Ginger Punch, who was another distaff champion. She beat her. And then she came back the next year. And that was when Rachel Alexandra was supposed to show up, and Zenyatta's stablemate beat her down at Fairgrounds. So the connections backed out. Anyway, yeah, this is going to be a great card. 12 races. We have a family horse running with Carl Broberg. So it's going to be an interesting day. My year-to-date ROI is doing well, plus 97.10. I had a really good Friday. I hit the late pick 3 for like $500 something. Hit a 19-1 shot in the finale, and so Friday was a success. Hopefully, some of you guys were able to take advantage of that. I've been in the plus column. Again, this is a $2 mythical win place for the whole year on every race for that Oaklawn and in every card. So, a lot of these races I really don't want to pick, but I have to because that's what we're doing. We're picking every race. So to be in the positive, I'll pat myself on the back. I think I'm doing a pretty good job there. And we'll continue to see if we can get some success. The weather's going to be good. It looks like it's going to be sunny, and we're going to have a fast strip. We got a lot of rain, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It was fast on Friday, and it's going to be great on Saturday for the Apple Blossom. So kind of regretting I can't be down there, but like I said, I got some family obligations I got to take care of. All right, let's dive into the card real quick. I'm going to go through the first 5-6 races relatively quickly so we can get to the bones of the late pick 5 here. Race 1 here, I like the 3. The 3 is Subway Susie. If you remember, I picked this horse last week. I think it was a week ago. She was scratched. This spot here, she's dropping. Like I said, scratched from the last. I like the way the race kind of sets up for her. She was 42-1 last time. She's dropping down from, that 12 or that 24,000 level down to this 12.5. So, double drop. And I mentioned these connections. This trainer kind of obscure. Last week he was, he didn't have a win, so he's won since Travis Murphy. And then the jockey Fletcher 0-for-2. Rode this horse once, this filly, and I don't know much about this guy or gal. I don't even know who he or she is. So I just like the horse, and I think she's going to, fire in this spot. Looks like a good little spot here. Race number 2. It is a 25,000 non-2 life event going 6 furlongs. I landed on the 4, Run Smitty Run. Now I got to tell you, Mike Hewitt, he's been hot. He didn't have a lot of stalls, and he got overwhelmed. He had a lot of horses on farms moving back and forth. Since we've pulled some horses from him, and Danny became his own, my brother's a trainer now, so we pulled a lot of the horses there. He's been winning. He's got everything at the track. He's not having to worry about shipping horses back and forth at that third-party farm. And he won again on Thursday, I believe, or Friday, excuse me. And he's red hot. I mean, this horse here, it's going to get a perfect setup. There looks like there's a lot of speed in here. And, this guy was claimed, it was a voided claim back at Churchill. He ran it down there, lost to a horse who won next time out, gave it some time off. And, it's been working steadily. I don't see any crazy breaks in the work tab. A lot of the works look pretty decent. And Harry Hernandez gets the call. So anything near those last two races going to be very difficult to beat. 3-1 is not something I want to. I mean, I like Mike Hewitt when he's like 10-1, but and I'm not saying we're going to get an overlay, but I guess $8 to $10 would be ideal because this runner looks pretty solid in this spot. Underneath, I took my Uncle Leon. Christian Torres is back in the saddle, second off of a layoff with this runner. And that was a really, tough race last time. So this is a drop in class, and it looks like a spot where it can wake up. So I figured, second off the layoff, dropping. Let's see what it can do. But I think these are the two that you want in this spot. Race 3, I landed on the 4. This is a $8,000 claiming event going 6 furlongs. The 4 is Love to Win, Carl Broberg. Now, Carl, he claimed this one for 20 last time. Drops it all the way down to 8. It could be viewed as a negative class drop, but, it's a poker play too. And, you can, if you can draw a line through that one off the claim from Norm McKnight, Carl's 21% off the claim. And if you look at that race 2 back and a starter allowance when it lost to runners like Jackman and Colt Fiction, anything near that effort's going to probably blow this field out. So it's one that I want. And then the aforementioned Mike Hewitt has one in here at 12-1, the 5 Starburst. This one is coming from Will Rogers Downs. It was claimed out of Delta. Ran in a starter. Didn't fare well there. They dropped it down to a nickel at 1. Shows up here for 8. This horse likes to win. It's got 7 wins and 16 starts, and I like that. So might be regretting not picking it on top, but I'm going to do an exacta box with these two. Race 4. I want to show you guys race 4. It is a trip note. Here we go. So Auden. Here we go. So this is like what I like to do. If you're looking at my PPs here on my formulator. By the way, if you guys have formulator or don't have formulator, I strongly recommend getting it. It's a tremendous program. You could put trip notes in like I did here. You can get trainer statistics. You can get siblings, broodmare information. You could filter stats, routes and sprints and dirt and turf racing for, trainers and stuff. So on that note, I do like the 5 here. I do have a trip note. The 5 had a weird start. Now this thing it was claimed for 16 off of Hartman. So that's kind of okay. Chris Hartman's a good trainer. He's having a great meet. I don't know a lot about Carlos Santa Maria. He's 0 for 15 this year. He's 0 for 16 at the meet. Does have a second and 3/3, so he's kind of knocking on the door. But this horse, I like the way this horse ran in the lane. It's got a lot of late run in it, and in a race that does have some, zip. There's a few in here that want to go. The 2 is going to be probably Keen, second off the layoff with the bug, and of course I do think Sagittarius with Asmussen is going to be a little bit of a pace play, dropping down for that maiden 30 effort. So I want you guys to watch a replay of this one's last race. We're in the
outside. Auden. We're ready to go. And Leroff. Uneventful start. Then Auden had to take up a little bit there and drops.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Going to the front is Our
and it's very rank here. It's
takes the second
hopping a little bit. Not sure what lead to go on the mud.
Pace between horses into the clubhouse turn. Then comes Stoff.
Now you're getting a lot of mud in your face here.
Behind Lucky Supernova right behind
Not ideal.
Rival. And Auden has found himself on the rail now. He's within 5 lengths of the lead early. Another length back to Bourbon on Fire, Princess My Boy. Those two moving together, and they're passing a number of rivals to be a joint third, swinging up the backstretch. Leadfoot is the early trailer. Compact groups.
Now you're kind of comfortable, I guess, but again,
and Our Heavenly Gift is in front.
Lots of mud in your
Heavenly
face here.
Gift, 3/4 of a length, now a half length in front. Bourbon on Fire, Princess My Boy. They've been moving together for about a quarter mile now, and they went from about 8th all the way towards the
now going into the turn.
Half mile left to go. Lucky Supernova
I'm thinking
in the meantime has dropped right out of it, so he's done it. Appears
they should have
here.
followed the 2 horse.
In the meantime,
and you'll see what I'm saying here.
4th position with Devil's Shadow into the forward turn. Devil's Shadow losing.
I think it's a 2, or no, it's a 3. Excuse me.
Leadfoot from last has made a move. He's all the way into 5th. He's within 5 lengths of the lead as they round the turn. Auden is being pumped upon. He's down on the fence, making up ground. Auden as they approach the top of the stretch. This race will end at the 16th pole. Our Heavenly Gift swarmed by Princess.
I probably would have followed the 3.
Bourbon on Fire's had enough. Shadron makes a move right up the inside, cuts the corner. You got a dream run too. Leadfoot on the outside, but Shadron has stormed to the front. Shadron with a rail skimming ride by Keith Asmussen, kicking on now. Our Heavenly Gift is reclaimed second. Auden third, beaten as the favorite.
I like how he's
Shadron
finishing up here.
Breaks the maiden. Our Heavenly Gift was second, third home. Auden and 4th was Princess My Boy.
So that was I thought it was a good effort. The Gallop Out satisfactory here. You break poorly, and you're on the rail. You're getting a lot of mud in your face, and that was the first time it was really in some heavy mud. And when you're getting a lot of that kickback. I'm sure I've seen jockeys when I've talked to them after races. I mean, if they're on the rail stuck behind a wall, I mean, you'd be surprised how much mud is on these guys, all over their face, all over their. I mean, it's just it was a learning experience. Now we're going to be fast tomorrow or on Saturday for this race. We're gelded. We're putting the hood on. I would expect to be hopefully a little bit more alert from the gate and get in a better position. And I'm kind of excited about this one. Santana's got the mount here, and Bejarano was riding last time, but Santana's a good lateral move here, leading jockey at the Oaklawn meet for many times over the years. So at 15-1, I just want this horse. And these trip notes, you put them in and you don't bet them every time, but there's a lot of equipment changes here. We're getting a surface change, and what I mean by that is sloppy to fast. And I'm excited to see what we can do, and the price is what's going to be fun. So anyway, take a peek at Auden at 15-1 trip note. It's a formulator trip note. All right. Race 5. It's a 25,000. What is it here? Yeah, 25,000 on 2 life going a mile and a 16th. So the 4 is Artwell. Now Artwell is a wire threat. There's nothing else to really say. It was Pressing in a maiden 30, lost by a neck. It set fast fractions in the slop at Oaklawn January 27th and, faded out of it, but it ran against Southern Sunset that day, who freaked with a 98 Beyer speed figure. And of course, Ben Franklin came back to win a monster, and Gamekeeper won this meet. I mean, that was a tough race. And, losing by 15 with a 74 Beyer speed figure kind of shows it. Claimed for 30 last time. The last race was just a speed fade in the mud. We're going to get the fast. We're going to drop. And this might be, we might be saying cheese this time. So there's really nobody to go with this horse. Like, if we break clean, we should get a comfortable lead. I mean, Interlock Empire has no speed at all. That's your 9-5 favorite, McPeak on the rail. Now, it does have a devastating big late number when it broke its maiden here in a maiden special event. March of last year, when 86 Beyer speed figure, crushed by 5. That was a Victory Gallop type of line there. When you're losing by 13 and you're just sitting back there and you draw off by 5, that's what Victory Gallop used to do. So that was a very impressive race. But, this thing's going to be plodding back there, and you're going to be chasing a lone speeder. And Artwell at 8-1, I'll take that all day long. So let's see what happens with that. All right, race 6 is a maiden special weight, short stretch at a mile. This is for 3-year-old colts. You might have a superstar in here. A lot of these are nominated to the Triple Crown. I landed on the 6 Lear. Now, Lear for Asmussen sprinted in the mud. Didn't get a good trip out of there. But what I like about Lear is in that debut, he ran against older horses. I mean, you ran against almost my namesake, Simovic, who is a professional maiden, 9 starts, 6 seconds, but a lot of 80 Beyer speed figures, a lot of seconds, and it's pretty classy. Miller's Right came back to win a maiden special weight recently, last week. The winner of that race, Castle Warden, hasn't come back to run, but got an 82 Beyer speed figure in there. Pineland has been hanging in there. I mean, that was a pretty good field, and those are some good runners, and some of those are older. So this one's stretching out. It's running against straight 3-year-olds, which I like. And, the breeding's there. Lay or Leah, however you wanted to call that colt, out of a elusive quality. So let's check the siblings out. You got a half sister that had 5 wins. You had another brother that broke its maiden at 1 1/8, so at Aqueduct. So the distance should be fine stretching out. But anyway, Lear for Asmussen looks very logical. The 4 Jesters, Jester Sang, Mac Robertson, Bejarano, same thing, stretching out. McLean's Music out of a Tappet mare should like the 2-turn going. So those are 2 that I want there. And, let's see if we can maybe box those up. Hit the exacta, or maybe, as far as horizontals go, I mean, it's race 6, so the late pick 5. There might be a mid pick 5. I don't even know. I got to look, but check your exotic horizontal wagers for that. All right, race 7. Champagne Mike. It's a family horse. Carl Broberg is the trainer of this one. My brother Danny only has 4 stalls, so we gave some of the excess horses to Carl. Carl shipped a lot of them down to Lone Star, but we left this one here to make his debut. Now, this is an interesting runner. My dad got this one cheap. I got to be honest with you, I've never heard of this sire. I've never heard of this, the Broodmare sire. Awesome, of course. If you look, I want you guys to see this sire. I think some of you guys that own horses might have one that looks better. on paper. This is the race line. 29 starts, 2 wins, 87,000 in earnings. It's like a backyard stallion. The siblings, I think this is the first. Let me go back. I think this is the first foal. Yeah, here's the broodmare, by the way. Ugly sire, ugly broodmare. Did win a race. Where the hell did this thing win a race? Was it because of a DQ? Am I missing it? Oh, right here. It won a maiden for 5,000 at Delaware by a neck with a 30 Beyer speed figure. Wow. And it's the only sibling, Champagne Mike. But Champagne Mike, you guys, has a nice little work tab going. A couple of bullets at a training center last summer. Missed some training, I think, because of some shin splints or something, or not shin splints. What do they call that? When they, I'm losing my mind there. But anyway, the work tab's really good. So the gate move to back on March 24th was shin buck is what I was talking about. But if you look at the March 24th work out of the gate, that was pretty cool. I like that. Maintenance drill since, breeding isn't nothing to write home about, but we're in for 12.5. We're running against some older ones. Now, the one to beat is going to be Auto Dial. 9 starts, 5 seconds. They're adding the hood. It's got some fast numbers. I mean, for a 3-year-old, that's pretty good. Actually, no, it's a 4-year-old. Excuse me. But nonetheless, the 77 is those are decent numbers, and this one's going to be, the odds-on favorite here. But if Champagne Mike is ready to roll, you never know. First time asking, we got Arietta, Broberg, 15% first time starters. Maiden claiming events, 24%. Why not? Give it a crack. 12-1. It would be neat to see this guy win, first asking. Don't know what to expect. Again, Brooks in down, and the broodmare sire is awesome, of course. Never heard of these horses in my life, and very interesting breeding combination there. But yeah, we'll give that one a rip. See what we can come up with. Race number 8. Man, you guys, this is the Count Fleet. And this is a great race for the Breeders' Cup Sprint. It's a, early prep. And, Skelly is in here. Now, Skelly, is coming back from a trip out to the Middle East. I'm kind of worried about that. Like, that's a lot of traveling. It's a lot of, I don't know, man. I mean, it takes a lot out of you when you got to travel. Like, we've seen these horses come back from, Dubai, or in this case, it was over there in one of those, where was that at? I don't even, that sprint race, whatever, it was the 1.5 million. But anyway, you ship there, you prep, you got a different climate, you run your eyeballs out, you run second, and then you got to ship back. And I mean, the flight's got to be I don't know, 12, 15 hours. I wouldn't even know. But Tejano Twist is where I land. And, the last two, the fast, it likes fast better, I think. Although it can run on mud. I'm not saying it can't, but that last race by a nose, I was at the NHC when it lost to Jackson Traveler. I actually picked Jackson Traveler. My brother Marco liked that Jackson Traveler a lot. It was actually his pick. I picked it in the NHC. And I thought I lost the race, and I thought Tejano Twist called me, but I think like Skelly. I think Tejano Twist is like ready for this, and I think that Skelly is. There's probably going to be a little bit of a chink in the armor for this spot just because of all of the globe trotting that it's done, and I think Tejano Twist is probably going to fire the race of his life here, and which it's always run well. I mean, Skelly has gotten the better of him, but when they've run against each other. But third time might be a charm, and I think now's the time to strike 3-1. I think we might get 3-1, maybe 7-2, and I'll take it. Okay, race 9 is a allowance race, a other than going a mile. I like Megan's Honor. Megan's Honor. I had a trip note on this runner, 2 back, stumbled out of the gate, rank first turn. They added the hood last time. It got an 83, just missed by, well, it lost by 2 3/4, but it ran second to Ben Franklin, who's really good. Now your second time blinkers, which is a good angle that I really like, and you're 10-1 in this spot. I want this runner here. There's a lot of things here that I like. Handicapping angles that I like. Maintenance drill, April 5th. Since and Becker won a race, one of those races that I picked on Friday. So he's getting hot. He was already doing well at the meet, even though he's only 1 for 46 coming in to Friday. But now he won on Friday. He's got 9 seconds and 7/3. So he's almost 50%, right there in the money, as is anyway. So I kept telling Marco, like, he's too good of a trainer to be this cold. He's going to win. He just popped one on Friday, and I think he's going to pop one here at 10-1. My backup was the 5, Trigger Happy, Cipriano Contreras, Barbosa the Bug. Claimed it for 30, lost by a neck for starter allowance for 50. Just makes all the sense in the world here, and he's a really good horseman, and I like the weight that this horse is getting. So those are the 2 that I really like, and we'll see if my second off the trip note with the second time blinkers angle on Megan's Honor can get the job done. Race number 10. It's a state bred, Archie bred, 6 furlong race. Optional claiming 30,000, non-winners at 1. I landed on the 2, who is Timbavati, Ron Moquette and Rafael Bejarano. Timbavati is second off the layoff, and we have, a trainer that is kind of good off the bench, like with runners like this. And I like that race off the bench. I think it was just this filly grew up a lot. Like a lot of times these horses that were 3 that are coming into their 4-year-old season, they grow up a lot. And this one obviously did a lot of growing up and from the winter. And it ran a top, and it's probably going to run a new top here. 4-1 isn't great. I get it. It's not like eye popping, but it's square. And, I see these 4-year-olds that come off the layoff, run a strong race. They always improve if they come into the race right. And this one's coming into the race right with perfect spacing. They pointed to this race immediately after that race. And, it ran against Hall and Ice off the bench. Hall and Ice is a nice, Arkansas filly. So 4-1 all day long for me, guys. Don't sleep on that one. The 9 is my backup. Mazingo, Mike Hewitt again. Again, Mike Hewitt, I love when he's a price. This one's 5-2. He got this one from the Diodoro barn. I'm not so sure how much he knows about this horse quite yet. Hasn't run this horse yet. So it's a talented runner. We'll see how it responds to Mike's training. But at 5-2, I just thought there was more value with Tim Bavati at 4-1. All right, guys, let's dive into the Apple Blossom. I'm going to share the screen for the actual race here. All right, let's look at the field here. In the one hole, Free Like a Girl. Thought this one was up against it. It does have a win here, and it likes to win a lot. It's run a lot for a 5-year-old mare. But, a lot of those races, it's had success at Louisiana, those state bred races. Ran good against Open Company at Houston in a grade 3 against Bellamore. But, I think this is one where you can say, hey, we gave it a good shot in the Apple Blossom, and it's going to go back home after this race. Maybe it runs 5th or 6th here, goes back home, and crushes on some LA breds down there. Taxed. Taxed was one that I played against last time because it was sprinting, and I don't like betting or picking these types that are route horses making their long, layoff debut sprinting. And sure enough, one right off the shelf. And it's probably going to run faster now, stretching back out, getting that race under its belt. It hasn't run much faster than that, but keep in mind, it's now a 4-year-old. That was its 4-year-old debut last time. It has every right to run up top. And it's one that could be dangerous here at 5-1. And, it's probably one I'll include underneath on some of my tickets. It does have the one win here in 2 seconds routing, in the fantasy last year against Wet Paint, who's in this race. And Wet Paint, by the way, is undefeated. And we'll move on to that. Wet Paint, 3 for 3 at Oaklawn. As a 3-year-old, it did its thing. It won the Honeybee, the Martha Washington, won the fantasy. It just won all the prep races here. Went to the Kentucky Oaks. Was the beaten favorite that day. Ran a good race. It's come back to win a grade 1, second in another grade 1, and then I guess you could say that the distaff is one you can always draw a line through if you don't run well. But this is the one that is, the one that you probably have to beat. It's coming in off of a layoff. It's making its 4-year-old debut. Not sure if it's going to need a race or not, but it's a horse for course angle, and you can't throw it out. The price sucks though. Let's not kid ourselves. But Pratt comes in, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Pratt is winning a lot of his mounts when he flies into Oaklawn. So, he's got 4 wins and 4 seconds at the meet. So, in limited mounts. The Baffert runner here, 9-5. Baffert, we've talked about it. When Muth won the Arkansas Derby, he flies these horses in, they win, and then he leaves. I mean, his winning percentage is unbelievable at Oaklawn Park. He seems to really like it out here. He does well. This mare likes to win. 12 out of 15 in the exacta, 7 wins from 15 starts. Has tactical speed, doesn't need the lead, but can be on the lead. So, second off of a layoff here from the 5-year-old bow, and coming off of a lifetime best buyer speed figure where he ran a goodie second to Sweet Azteca. Hey, it's the one that we got to beat. It's got the target on its back, and I give it a lot of respect, but it's just not one that I want to pick. You always want to beat the favorite. It's just in my nature. So, if you're playing horizontals, by no means leave this horse, this mare off your ticket. Pick 5s, whatever. I mean, If you got a really, really, really strong conviction, then yeah, you can try and beat it. But I mean, I'm trying to beat it, but if I'm playing a horizontal, I'm not leaving this runner off my ticket. I mean, I'm just being honest. Flying connection. Uh, I I mean, it's a nice little runner. You know, ran in the Oaks, didn't embarrass itself. Has speed, which is always it's coming in off of a 3 race winning streak, so you have that going for you. All of those races, you know, are smaller circuits, kind of, but the purse money was good. It won a $300,000 race. Um, making money. This horse, this filly's making money, and why not give it a crack here? It's going to be prominent early. It likes to win. You never know. It's 20-1. So if you threw this horse on your ticket, I wouldn't bat an eye. I would be like, okay, I get it. It might overachieve here. It doesn't know, it doesn't know how good it is. I mean, it doesn't know who it's running against, and I'm sure it's going to have its running shoes on. Misty Vale ran well in the Azuri. I don't know. The Azuri was a good race. Wasn't great. It was good. The winner doesn't come back here. Bellamore does, but I think these two are going to be a little bit overmatched. It did have a little bit of a trip note in that last, but I'm not going to say impossible, but that was probably the best race of its life in 36 starts last time, and now you're asking it to beat this field. I'd probably rather take a shot with that Sunland horse than this one, but it's Mike Maker. So, yeah, whatever. If you guys like this one, throw it underneath, but it won't be on my ticket. This is my top pick. Saffie Joseph ships in. He shipped one in earlier at the meet. He hit the board, obviously. 1 start, 1/3. Javier Castellano takes the irons. It's got a bullet coming in from Gulfstream. That's a super work, 47 and change. Now, again, if you've heard what I've been saying about these horses that are now 4 from 3, it made its 4-year-old debut. It romped by 2, and it got a fast number. And, Saffie gave this one he's pointed to this race because that race was in February 2 months ago. Since then, you've got 4 drills. They're all good. And that last drill, he really set her down. And, that 94 is good enough to win this race, possibly. And I think it can improve off of that. The breeding is there. Saffie wins all over the place. This is a sneaky good runner here that can really turn into a nice race mare, a distaff mare in 2024. This could be the first stepping stone. And I'm looking for a new top off of that last effort and a monster race. It looks like it's going to get the perfect trip too. It likes to sit there, a little, look at a couple of targets and then overtake them, and then boom. It was a little bit keen last time and just dominated, but it's I like it. I like this one a lot, and let's see what happens. Bellamore. I got some good history with this one. I picked this horse in that Houston Ladies Classic, and it won me an NHC seat back in January. The last race here in the Azuri was good, but like I said, it wasn't great. And I don't know if I necessarily like these 2 runners out of this race against this group, especially when the winner's not showing up. So, but all 3 of them were kind of like in a close finish. And I just don't think the Azuri is going to threaten the top runners in here. Shotgun Hottie is Paco Lopez is coming in town. He hasn't run here yet this meet. Aggressive rider. The tactics on this one are going to be interesting. It does have, I think it's going to have to probably, from the 9-hole, you just break and you work out a little trip out there and just kind of sit in the second flight. I think that's what Paco will do. It looks sneaky. It's fast. It's run some fast races at Monmouth. The Oaklawn races are not very desirable. I already mentioned I don't like the Azeri race, and this one couldn't even beat Bellamore or Misty Vale. I don't know. I think to try this group after those two efforts, I probably would have went elsewhere. Maybe get ready for Monmouth or some other circuit. Maybe go to Keeneland. Maybe go, I don't know, but whatever. Not much of a chance, I feel. So I would throw that one out as well. But anyway, the Apple Blossom looks like a good race. I'm going to land on Honor D Lady. I think Honor D Lady is a serious horse player that can challenge Baffert in this spot. And, I think Tax might be a sneaky play too. Might want to throw that one underneath. But I think Honor D Lady is ready to pop, and we might see some fireworks in the Apple Blossom. The nightcap is all about the scratches. Not sure if Chrome's Echo is going to get in or not, but I love the work tab on that one, and there's a lot of backside buzz on this one. I have my reservations whether or not this one's going to get in. Because you need 2 scratches. The Red River, unless, the McBride runners in the 13-hole. So we'll see if we get in or not. But if it gets in, I'm going to pick it. It's 9-2. My backup is the 2 Time and Beyond. It's going to be the favorite. I don't know. The rest of, I guess if you want to look at one of the other first-time starters, you can try it. Because I don't, put it this way, I don't think any of the horses that have run can beat the 2, Time and Beyond. So the mystery is going to have to be, what are these firsters going to do? And that's why I liked Chrome's Echo. The rail horse looks interesting at 20-1. But they're taking the hood off, and maybe if things get a little spicy, it can make a run. You just don't know what these firsters are going to do. Some of them have some speed in here, but these other horses, but I don't know. It's all about the 14 for me. Chrome's Echo, super work tab. And we'll see what happens. All right, guys. Well, that's it. It was a long couple of weeks for me. I'm rehabbing a property. We couldn't get out of town because of flights, and rental cars were all taken. 2 million people packed Arkansas for that eclipse. I flew to Hot Springs, then I flew to Houston, then I flew back. And then I drove back here. So I'm recording this on Friday night. I normally do these Saturday recordings on Thursday night. So as you can see, I am tired, but hopefully we can pick some winners. I hit the late pick 3 on Friday, and I will be playing the pick 5, the late pick 5 here on Saturday. Good luck, everybody. Let's cash some tickets. Don't forget any online tournament play. Get ready for that Hawthorne contest on the 21st. And let's go from there. We'll see you, everybody. Bye-bye.